So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to do, how do we do reading? So one of the big things I want you to understand is I don't teach reading. I teach writing. Because I have this is very important for you to understand. If the kid can write it, they can read it. And now I'm going to show you how we're going to start developing a vocabulary of dozens and eventually hundreds of evolved words. Okay? It's
Great.
to give you an example of why I do it this way. I want you to do you ever go to the movies?
Yes, I do.
Do you ever read movie reviews where you can look and see that the journalist who did this went to an Ivy League college? And they essentially tell you this happened and this happened and this happened. Does that sound familiar?
It does. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to show you a way that where we find a universal theme, and then if you apply it to this, you write a review on how the actors did with that universal theme, the director, and the screenwriter. So now you reviewed the movie, they understand what's going on at the most important level, what you think of it, but you didn't tell them A, B, C happened.
Right. Okay.
Okay? Pathetic that I'm telling you is something that's quick when people are trained in how to do this at the Ivy League. It's just I can't understand it.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to do is understand the meaning of a universal theme. So what we have to do is remember what we just did. Like and dislike is a form of word analysis. Then because after that, the reasons are articulation. That's how the front part of the brain works. Word analysis followed by articulation. 2.5 times the neural activity. Now we're going to do the same thing here, but at a much deeper level. And once the kid learns the word, I had this happen so many times. They learn the word somewhere in elementary school. And then when they're taking their SATs or ACTs in high school, the vocabulary section is simply, the verbal section is essentially a vocabulary test. They remember 70 to 80% of the definition. They don't need to learn a list of hundreds of evolved words. They already know them.
Right.
Drives their peers crazy. They said, "Oh, I learned that in 5th grade." Like, what? I have a lot of fun with it. So what we do, let's start off with what I like to call the half circle. We have a hero. The hero wants to do something. So we ask them to write it out in a sentence. Do you see how they just wrote a 3-reason sentence? Now they can write out a basic sentence.
Right.
Then we're going to ask for an action word, a word that takes the hero in the general direction they want to go. And then a most important word, another form of word analysis. Then that's going to be what I call the base universal theme. The base universal theme is normally very broad. Then what we're going to do is go to a thesaurus and look up 5 words, 10 words, maybe use AI, maybe not. I recommend against it. Just so you know, as far as AI is concerned, if a teacher says AI any one of these steps can be used, I think it's ethical. If a teacher doesn't say it can be used and they use it, it's not ethical. Teachers can disagree amongst themselves, but they're the ones that decide yes or no, and it's per teacher. Okay, I found everybody can pretty much agree with that one.
Right.
All right. But as we eventually show you, once you understand this, you can send your kids home to do essays, and if they can't show their work, you put a big red F and say, "Go do it and show me the steps."
Right.
So you know that it wasn't just cranked out by ChatGPT.
Right. That's true.
So once we find, maybe it's 5 synonyms, 10 synonyms, we have them type out the word, go to Merriam-Webster's online dictionary. They cannot copy and paste. They cannot copy and paste. I can say this until I'm blue in the face. They have to type it out. Copying and pasting is a waste of time. They have to type out the word, type out the definition. Let me tell you why. How many times do you need to type out a word and type out a definition until you know it?
Multiple times. Yeah,
yes.
Multiple times. Yeah.
Maybe it's 5, maybe it's 10, maybe it's 20. Who cares?
Right.
It is what it is. They do this until they know it. Eventually, they're going to have dozens of the evolved words and then hundreds. Do you want to see a big jump up in reading scores?
Oh, right. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then that's our post-universal thing. And then if I'm dealing with young kids, when I come to the ultimate villain who can best prevent the hero from accomplishing their goals, I tend to just leave it as a person. The older the kids get, you're professionals, you can then move it on. Is it a person or a concept?
Right.
Okay?
That makes sense.
And then as they get older, I'll do person and a concept. And then we'll have a hero, universal theme, ultimate villain, separated by plus signs. Ask them to read it out loud. Does it sound correct? No, fix it. And they give you a basic sentence.
Right.
So